thinking of playing Boots and Saddles from the Assault game series. So I'm going to continue with this thinking of playing series, but I reset the introductory scenario, scenario A, introductory scenario, whatever they call it. Yeah, sorry about that. So it is introductory scenario A. Okay, so I reset the scenario, and I'm already bottom half of the third turn here. Just going to continue this as a thinking of playing series. So let me review real quick the three major kinds of videos that I'm making at this point. Real quickly. So the off-the-shelf videos are a sampling of a game. So the off-the-shelf videos, I am getting a game that I've never played before, putting it out on the table and basically going through some of the core mechanics. Basically whatever looks interesting or maybe very important to that game design or unique. So it might be some combination of the combat mechanics, movement mechanics, command and control mechanics, or what have you. So they are samplings. So the off-the-shelf videos are really just samplings of the game. The thinking of playing videos are one step up. The thinking of playing videos are basically like detailed previews for myself. So I'm trying to get a really good detailed idea of how the game plays, but I am not necessarily playing, a full game, full scenario, the full situation, or what have you. But the thinking of playing videos are primarily think of them as previews, and then the see it played videos are, as the name implies. So again, I'm going to continue with the thinking of playing here, even though I've reset the scenario. So I reset the scenario. So I will take this opportunity to say that I really like the Assault series here. And I know I should elaborate on that, but I guess I'll just elaborate as I go. But really enjoying it, but boy, I messed up big time. And I messed up big time, and I'm going to explain. I actually want to explain how this happened. I think explaining exactly how it happened will help. But the bottom line is, the last run through the introductory scenario, I was pretty much drastically under assessing losses, which was making the battlefield here, the paper battlefield here, significantly less lethal than the rules call for. And the result is that the Soviets were in significantly worse shape than I thought they were. So let me show how this happened. Okay, so as I do these, well, actually all the videos, but especially the off-the-shelf and thinking of playing videos, because those videos I am learning the game, playing the game for the first time. It is what it is. Or I should say, what you see is what you get. But one of the reasons why I commit these to video, one of the reasons why I started and why I will continue, is that I got the idea early on that I want to show what I'm talking about. I'm not going to say I got tired, because that would be wrong, but I just noticed how many times I was reading online reviews, and a writer says something like, these rules are a mess, these rules are confusing, these rules are overly wordy or whatever the case may be. And I just, instead of saying that, I would like to just show it. And so if I can pick up the game well, then I should be able to show that. Okay. So anyways, these rules for the Assault series, I think are very good. They're clean. They're, I think all GDW rules that I've come across so far, they're a little sparse, but these ones are okay. But anyways, this is exactly what happened. So this is the Rule 13 anti-armor fire. So every time I went to do anti-armor fire, which is all I'm doing in this basic game because it's tank against tank, well, actually, well, anyways, I was focusing on anti-armor fire because it's tank against tank. So I was going through the procedure step by step here. And so I was going through here, hit procedure. I was going through multiple targets in hex, no problem. Basically, the more units are in the target hex, the better it is that you're going to hit something, which makes perfect sense. And I like that. And by the way, I like that it's not just a flat. Well, actually, I guess I can't think of many games that have a flat modifier, but the modifier is, you take the number of steps in the hex, divide by 2, round down, subtract 1. So it's a nice formula. Okay. Then we have cover. Cover makes perfect sense. Real easy. Divide the base hit number by 2, rounding fractions down. Then we have a particular rule for the M901, and then we have missile fire, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. And when I got to missile fire, I thought I kept skipping over this whole thing, thinking that this was all missile fire. I don't know how many times I did the exact same thing. Came down, missile fire. I'm not doing missile fire yet. And I jumped down to penetration and continued on. Well, when I was doing some review of the written rules separately from playing, whoa, I noticed that actually these two paragraphs have different indentation, as you can clearly see as I'm pointing it out. So actually, from reading it, I figured out, oh, this is missile fire. You pick up again after the final hit number is determined, roll the die. Kind of obvious, but this paragraph, and then a target unit which suffers 1 or more hits will lose steps, provided the hits penetrate. Then you go on penetration. So really, these two paragraphs are part of the general and complete rule number 13. Rule number 13, anti-armor fire is directed, ... Then we have hit procedure. Then we pick up again after the final hit number is determined. A target unit which suffers down there. Okay. So, huge. A roll equal to or less than the hit number means the target unit suffers 1 hit. I was doing that automatically without having to read it. I thought, hit, step loss. Kind of obvious. But a roll equal to or less than the hit number minus 2 means that the target unit suffers 2 hits. So, in effect, what that means is the way I was playing, any individual, fire attack could only cause 1 hit at a time. And since your normal full strength units are 2-step, you're never wiping out a unit with a single fire attack. And, well, that's not true. It's actually not that uncommon to get 2-step hits and eliminate a unit entirely with a single fire attack. So as I suggested before, that really changed things. And what I did is I went through and I did some really quick and granted very rough calculations, but basically I did a rough estimate of how many die rolls I missed and I made those die rolls, and then I was using an average 2-hit number, and the result is, well, actually the result was very uneven just due to the die rolls. I think I figured that the Americans should have lost an entire platoon by average die rolls, but actually, as luck had it, they didn't lose any, because all of the extra die rolls I made that I missed resulted in no hits, no step losses. And then on the Soviet side, I think I figured out that it should have been 2 units lost, and they actually wound up losing something like 3, which was like a wipeout. And so at that point, at that point, the Soviets were not going to win very well that situation. So that's why I reset. So I reset, and really the fighting is more lethal than I thought it was, and so I need to play that way. Okay, so what's happened with the replay here? So I decided, actually, so I'm replaying the exact same scenarios. We have the exact same forces. They come on board the exact same way. For the American side, I decided, well, since they did so well defending up here, which is still making me wonder, but since they did so well defending up there, I thought, well, let's try pretty much the exact same defense again and see what happens. So they're basically coming up here to execute essentially the exact same defense. They're probably already in position. The only thing left to do is to spend the operations points and the phases to get in cover. That's what's left. Otherwise, they're pretty much in position. Now, for the Soviets, I decided that they would come on. They came on the same way, but instead of traveling this way, I had them cut down here, and try to take the American position and flank. So that's what I'm doing here. Oh, and the other big thing I'm doing different with the Soviets is that, as I reviewed before, I was basically advancing company online. Battalion online with companies abreast. This time I'm going to deliberately try to, attack in echelon. So the first company's going in, and I'm going to try to leave some room here for the second company to follow up according to what develops.